fix that table so when you exercise, you can see what's going on.
Well, I know most of the
happening.
exercises now because I've done them all. It's just I can't remember what she calls them.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
In 3, 2,
Was that recording that whole time?
1. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we do this again now?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. It recorded me saying.
Yeah, sometimes I like to start off, and I'll edit and start out the thing and,
little snippet
just
of
a little
me
snippet
saying,
of us.
"Hey, Joyce lost her phone."
Say, my underwear's all bunched up my butt and something like that.
You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
And it is a pleasure to be with you today. With
on
you
this
too,
freezing cold day.
Yeah, they did they're doing a story on me at work. And they were asking like the roots of range. And it was nice. She's very nice. In fact, she's...
Did you do that today?
No, we did it Monday. It was yesterday. And she actually is a relative of Bob Pompiani.
Oh, neat.
Nina. And she's really nice. And so she was... Well, we were talking about her kids having to have tubes in their ears. One's only 2 and one's like 8 months or something. But I was told I'd pray for them. But anyway, they're doing this story, just a kind of background of us doing the podcast. Penny put my name in for it. And, she was saying, hey, who knows? Maybe you get a few more listeners. And that's true because I don't advertise. It's not like we advertise this thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were talking about...
when you come up with a good one, though, we have fun with it.
Well, I think the one before the last one, I mean, they're all... Because she was asking me, why did you, what kind of started? Well, we did it over COVID.
Yeah.
If you remember correctly. We actually, one night we were just sitting down here, and I said, well, let's just do a short one to get started, and then it just kind of rolled from there. And she says, do you guys feel like... Here's my thought on this. And you can tell me how you feel about this, about us doing the podcast. And I think she was wondering, why were we doing it? Do you feel like
did we have a purpose?
Has it helped us in any way? Does it make us? In a way, I feel like there's a communication.
Oh, yeah.
For us. You know what I mean? Like we communicate, we're talking, maybe something happened. What the heck is going on with my microphone?
I don't know. It's shaking back and forth.
Yeah, it's shaking all over the place. But anyway, so for me, that was kind of my thing, was I thought we were just kind of, we talk about just about anything, but depending on what I bring up too. But
when you get a funny subject, then,
well, you never know what's going to be funny though.
Well, or if we put a spin on it. We usually put a bad spin on things.
Well, we always put a bad spin on it, especially when Zachary's around. But,
I know.
But
those are the ones that are more fun because you just never know what's going to,
Yeah, we were talking about Chubby Baker, and it wasn't Chubby Baker at all. It was the Chunky Chef.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. Or when you have Gooch Grease.
Yeah, the Gooch Grease one was good.
Grease was a good one because it was... it's like having swamp ass. Well, you're not going to have it this time of year, that's for sure.
Oh, God. Unless it's frozen right in there.
No, I would like to do... Now, I still have not worked on this. Hopefully, by the time this airs, and I've been doing other things, and I want to do the Speak Pipe. And what Speak Pipe is there we can ask our audience a question. They can leave us a message, and then we can relay that message the next time we're on the air.
Oh, neat.
And it'll be something different before we get to hopefully get to YouTube. But yeah. So anyway, so that's what I'm working on, and I'm hoping to have it done by the time this episode airs. But one of the things that we have been doing that we decided to try is our cold shower experiment.
I haven't done very good with it.
So I was reading this story. They're talking about James Bond shower method. Apparently he
Does
showers in
cold
cold
showers.
showers.
Okay.
Of course, he is James Bond,
Oh, yeah.
so that's
Oh,
different. And I was telling Terry, I said, Terry, then this, take it for what it is. It's basically having a cold shower, so it's no warm water at all. And so we attempted this over the weekend.
We didn't make it very.
I think we made it maybe 10 seconds. I don't know. Did you pee on my feet? I can't remember.
No, I
don't
didn't.
think so.
I didn't. I went pee before we got in
That's a
because
good
I knew I
idea.
was going to pee.
So they were talking about the positives of a cold shower. And so I was telling Terry that these are some of the things that they say is the positive of a cold shower. And here's some of the things that benefits from the cold shower. Our skin. When you do cold showers, it helps the skin. It closes the pores. That way dirt can't get in. It also burns fat, helps combat depression. I'll be honest with you. When that cold water was hitting me, I was depressed. So I'm not sure exactly how it combats it.
I let out a scream, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I mean, I screamed like a little girl myself because you made me go first, and I was spraying you.
Of course,
because we were in the shower
blocking
together.
Some of the cold from it.
So I was in there first, and you were getting the spray off, if you will, of me, and I'm just thinking, what the heck are we trying to do here? It says it increases alertness.
Which it does make you alert. I woke right up.
Because of the shock. As I heard you, I think the one day, Monday, you tried it again.
Yeah.
And you were doing some deep breathing exercise, and that's what it says.
Well, I found that our cold doesn't have as much pressure as the hot. And when you pull up the thing, it's not enough pressure to come out the top real good.
Well, maybe you had to put it on hot, right? Get it up and then flip it back,
down.
and it should be okay.
I don't know, but that would be even worse because it got warm coming out, and then I got it moved to cold.
So yeah, it says something about it says it tightens our pores, preventing dirt from seeping in. Also, it says, now this is the one that I have a hard time with because I actually did do a cold shower. I did it for maybe 30, 40 seconds. I did my hair and everything. I didn't shampoo, but I had it over my head, and it says that it helps your hair follicles flatten and grip the scalp. And it says it helps generate shiny and healthy hair.
Well, it would be nice because I lose a lot of hair in the shower.
Yeah, sometimes like a little rat at the bottom of the shower.
Whole mouse I can get out of there, yep.
It says this is a cold shower now. It says it improves immunity and blood circulation. It
Which I
improves
need.
heart health. It helps you lose fat. As our bodies, they generate brown fat known as good fat that generates heat. So also if you're a fitness freak, good news is this actually helps recover your muscles. The muscle recovery is better with a cold shower. Now, with all that being said, and there's other things, it goes on, how it helps with the antioxidants. And, I can honestly say, I don't know why I'm making all these funny noises in I can honestly say that we did it. We tried it. Not for very long, but I'm not.
Maybe when spring comes, we can try it again.
I'm thinking if it wasn't so cold, if you weren't getting out of the cold shower
into the cold,
maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But then I was thinking, okay, what if you did a bath, filled the tub, cold water like they do ice, because a lot of athletes do these ice bucket things. What if you did did it that way, where you submerge yourself in the cold water? Would that
still sounds crazy?
Well, no, I'm not saying it sounds great because it doesn't, but I'm just wondering if it would help, because that shower was that was brutal. You have to admit that was pretty brutal.
It is. I like my hot shower.
I do too.
I like the hot on my back.
I
when
agree.
my back is sore, you let it run down your neck and your back, and you get all your muscles all warmed up. And,
I'm with you. After I did the 40, 50 second, I don't know what it was, cold shower, and I turned the warm on, I'm like, that's more like it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but then you brought up a good point, though. Back in the day, way back in the day, when they didn't
Before
really have
running water,
hot water tanks, and and they might have had to heat the water up over a stove.
Mm-hmm.
If that,
They probably
if they did
took
that,
more cold baths than warm.
or like you said, they
if
did
you
it
were in a hurry, you would have had to take a cold wash up. Even if you didn't get in the full bathtub, you took water out of the well and it was cold or room temperature, and you washed your face and your armpits and your, Gucci's and all that, and you washed off and you went. I mean,
your Gucci's.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing like well, I'll tell you, you talk about a turtle, they always say the cold water kind of
makes
it shrink. And it was I'd like to hear from somebody that actually does
cold showers.
Nothing, but there's a guy on one radio station.
How long did it take you to get used to it?
Yeah, because I got to be honest, I
don't know if I can can keep trying to get used to it.
There was a video of us trying to get into the shower
would be hilarious,
that first time.
Yes.
Just even if you were on the outside, we probably should have just taped our reaction. Like
the screaming.
We should have put like the microphone just as we were getting in, all the screaming. That would have probably been funnier yet. The other thing I think we should do is we should do a can you guess who it is just by the ring of the phone? Because you always say, how do you know that? Because I always tell you that's so and so.
Yeah, you told me
right.
today.
Yeah,
you were
right. I said, and I told her it's from the ring.
And it's not from the ring.
It's by the ring.
No,
I can
it's
tell
not.
by the ring.
The ring is
There's
the
a certain
same.
ring. That
Unless
goes,
I have a ring for different people, it's not. It's the same ring.
I'm telling you, I knew it right from the start because I was right, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
I was right. All right. So anyway, that's our cold shower. If we do it again, we'll update you. Terry's done it,
If we ever
twice?
get used to it, we'll update you.
Has it been 2 times?
I ate that day.
One for 30 seconds, and then you did it another time.
But it never went out. But I did end up washing up in the cold water that was running out of the thing. You know what I mean?
Now, you babysat that same day, I believe.
Yes. And
did you feel
and that's why
alert?
I did that because I had to drive to Pittsburgh, and I thought, well, that'll wake me up for the drive. And yes, I did feel more alert to drive to Pittsburgh.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I
if
was
we try
freezing
it again,
cold.
We'll let you know. Well, it's because it was freezing cold. It's been cold all week.
It was 16 degrees. So I went from the cold shower to 16 degrees in the car when I had to leave. So,
yeah. Hey, are you familiar? This is talking point number 2. We'll update you on the cold shower thing if we do it again. And if you that are listening, you try it. You can leave comments on Spotify or hopefully on SpeakPipe if I can ever get it done. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm doing other things for the radio station, and I got my hands in too many bags. Or I don't know, what is it? Too many buckets?
I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Too many shoes? I got too many shoes on. I don't know. But anyway, we'll get to it. Anyway, so are you familiar with a lot of the dating terms? I don't know if you're familiar with some of these.
I'm not. I'm sure I'm not because I haven't even thought about it.
Well, there's a new one, but we're going to talk about some of the older ones first. So the older dating terms that they talk about, one here, let me find the one. There's one called ghosting. Now I'm sure you can understand what.
Yeah,
you
when they
disappear.
they don't give you a reason, they just quit calling and they quit
you
talking
just
to you.
Completely disappear from one's.
You unfriend someone
right.
and you just disappear from the site, that whatever, and you don't want them to see you anymore.
Right. That's ghosting. Have you ever heard the one called benching?
Isn't that the same thing practically?
No, because benching is where you're not entirely interested, but you keep them on the bench just in case
you don't see anything else you like better.
It's like a backup plan.
Yeah.
Where you're not, it's like,
I'm not going to be your bench, so guess what? You're ghosted from me if you bench me.
Yeah, it's not like they're not totally grossed out by you, but they're like keep you just on the fringe. Like you might get in to play, but you might not.
And that's when I'd say, see you later. Never.
Now there's a new one. You ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
Now see if you know what this is. It's called breadcrumbing. Have you heard this one? Breadcrumbing.
They're going to give you with the breadcrumbs. They're going to, only, I'll call you when I feel like it. And when I have nothing else going, I'm going to call you.
Well, apparently it kind of comes from the story of Hansel and Gretel. where you leave crumbs, right? You kind of leave some crumbs of little things to the person that you might be interested in, where you just, and these people might pick up on, like you might call them here and there, you might give them little little tidbits of what's going on, but you just leave a crumb. And then if they try and follow those crumbs, usually it doesn't lead anywhere because you kind of quit on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's what I said.
You
You're
kind of
like
stop.
You're like the leftovers.
You're not ghosting.
Yeah, but you're
just kind of keeping them. Like they did the fishing rod with the worms. You kind of keep it out there. What's the word? You kind of just
bait them.
Bait them. There you go. That's why I have you here, because you can fill in all the words, all the blanks.
But see, and once I was baited, and then you didn't answer me, I'd be done with you.
Yeah,
I would be done with you.
Well, the problem with breadcrumbing is according to this website, is it's not always easy to identify because the person gives the impression that they're interested.
Yeah,
and that you're on the same page, when in reality you're not. Like, for instance, they might give you a little text message, or maybe meet you a couple times if you want to do on a couple dates. They showed some interest, but now they're just trying to get a hold of, to make a plan. They're non-committal. Like you say, okay, what are you doing, this weekend? And they're kind of like, well, it's up in the air, might have to wash my hair or my Gucci's, as Terry would say, and may have to take a cold shower. So all these new dating terms sometimes can be really confusing. I think we can both say that, I guess we're old school. I'm old school. You're old school. These being out there today I don't think it would be fun to be trying to date.
I don't think I would like it at all.
I don't know if I'd want to.
Our kids haven't even enjoyed
dip my
it.
toe in that. I don't think so.
Our kids really haven't enjoyed it. I mean, Nathan and Alexis didn't really date a lot. I mean, they did before they were together, but not with all this new.
Oh, no, they didn't have all this other.
Yeah.
It was either you're interested or you're not.
And RJ and Lauren had other people that just.
They met each.
They both had.
It was kind of a blind.
They both have had bad experiences dating too. That's
It was kind of a blind date thing for RJ and.
Yeah. Well, I think they just met at friend's house.
And Zach and Sarah, it was kind of funny.
Zach's never really dated. He's never really done any of this.
His first serious relationship.
I mean, there were
had.
girls that liked him, and he knew it, and he went out with groups. He never went out alone with them because he didn't want to hurt their feelings, or he wasn't interested like they were, but he liked them as friends, but he didn't like them like that or whatever, and he didn't want to hurt their feelings or whatever.
So if you're in the dating scene, God bless you. That's all I got to say. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's got to be tough today to date and find someone that's interested in you, likes the same things, but then you just never know.
Like Zach said, that's on the same page.
Yeah.
He didn't want someone that ran around a lot.
Right.
And while he was in college, he said that's all the girls did. Yeah, he met a lot of nice girls, but if they were running around with other guys, he was like, I didn't want nothing to do with them.
Yeah. So breadcrumbing, that's the new dating term. Hopefully you're not being, I wonder if you would, well, they say it's hard to tell. Are they just keeping you just a little bit interested?
And in today's day, would breadcrumbing be, having sex already? It's RJ.
No, I don't think so. You want to answer it? Go ahead. Oh, can you answer it on that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
I was curious if the weather is not bad tomorrow. Is there any way you can come help us for a couple hours?
Yeah. What time you need me?
Lauren starts a gauntlet of meetings at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So anytime before then. I mean, I'm going to still take them to daycare and everything. It's just because Beckett hasn't really been letting her do those.
Okay.
And Wednesdays are my worst days. So
Okay.
whether I go in or not, I can't really help her.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can do that. I can be there before 10.
That's just assuming if the weather's bad.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll let me know in the morning then. Okay.
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 All
All right. We'll talk to you later. All right.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay.
So I
Always
guess I
on
might be
call.
going. I might be going to Pittsburgh again tomorrow.
Well, it's not might.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a might. That was.
Well, he said
can
if
you.
the weather's bad.
Well, yeah. I don't think they're supposed to snow, but
I don't know.
All right. So, yeah. So that's our date. That's the new dating terms. You have ghosting, benching. I'm sure there's more. And now breadcrumbing. And I'm sure there's a bunch more out there. All right. Next subject. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Wedding etiquette.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So do you think.
Weddings are just out there now.
Yeah. They were doing this poll.
They're either way too uppity and expensive, like everything has to be perfect. I mean, in our days, you had a wedding and you went to the fire hall and you had a good time.
Yeah, they were talking about, this is basically about certain behaviors by guests, even by people getting married. And so these are just some of the wedding guest do's and don'ts. Now, here's the thing. The very first thing on here is something that doesn't matter if it's a wedding, if it's a birthday, if it's a bridal shower or any kind of shower. A lot of people, a large margin, 80%, believes it's always inappropriate for a guest not to respond to an invitation. Now, it says wedding invitation, but I'm going to say an invitation. And here's why, in my opinion, is because, people are counting on, and I mean counting, because with the way costs are for
catering and stuff.
My brain is not working. You want to kind of have you want to have enough,
pretty accurate
but not
count.
too much.
Yeah.
And people just don't do it. They don't answer the invitations.
I mean, if I can't go, you say, no, we're not coming.
Well, there's the other thing too. This is, it's funny you brought that up because at the bottom of this, they were talking about 3/4 of people saying that they should, if they decline the invitation, that they should have a reason. If they just do it without a reason. Well, I mean, if you say no,
then
there's probably a reason.
Like
right? It's just no.
We went to 2 last summer, and if it would have been our vacation week, we would have not went. You know what I mean?
If we
happened,
were, But yeah, we did. Did we go to 2? Yeah, we did go to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the other thing is people want to know if you do decline, they want a reason. But I don't think you really have to have a reason, do you?
I don't think so. I mean, if it's, just maybe it's
Do they
one
wanna
of your
know
kids'
that-
birthdays or something.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, there's always. If at least here's my thing: you got to be happy they just told you they weren't coming,
Yeah.
because now you can take them off
The list. Yeah.
the list of the caterer or whatever.
Yeah.
And they might still send you a gift if that's what you're worried about. I don't know if that's what it is or not. When it comes to wedding guest attire, Terry, what do you think that people think is most inappropriate for guests to be wearing? What color do you think do most?
White.
White. Yeah, most Americans say it's inappropriate to wear white. And black is popular, but I always, for some reason, I don't know why I do this, because I like black. Black makes you look thinner, and there is something classy about the black attire. But
I
it
like
always
black
kind
and
of
white together.
Yeah, black and white. Well, I think that's okay, don't
With
you?
a white shirt and black.
Yeah, that's
it's
okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm talking.
A black and white dress is okay compared to a white dress. Yeah.
I'm assuming off-white would be okay.
Well, I don't know. Some people got offended. Like Jillian told my mom she could not wear what she wore to Alexis's wedding because it was a white, like a sunny dress. But they were getting married at the beach to her wedding.
Oh, see,
you can't wear white to my wedding, she told her.
Well, there you go. She fits on this list.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, they say, even more inappropriate to wear an outfit that is more extravagant than the couple, or to dress casually despite a formal dress code.
Well, I mean, at the one wedding we went to, it was in a very nice place.
It was.
And there were all kinds. There was,
Yeah,
because there were farmer people, and there was
fancy, right?
and there were some people with
Yeah.
jeans and a cowboy hat on. Did
Yeah.
you notice that?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I mean, there
Yep.
were, and there were some people that were dressed very fancy,
Mhm.
and there were some people that were dressed with jeans and cowboy hat.
I mean, if you're not coming with ripped up shorts and
I
a
didn't
t-shirt,
see anyone with their butt hanging out or anything. So I guess it was there were a few sundresses that were kind of iffy, though.
what do you mean iffy? You mean like,
I mean, they were kind of revealing, really low cut, or
oh, well, that's all right. No
But-
problem. I don't know what the
I know
problem
you
is
don't
there.
have any
know
problem
what
with
you
it, but if
mean.
their boob pops
If
out,
you,
I
well,
have
if
a
it
problem
does,
with it.
it's a shame. But
You're like,
life
yeah,
happens.
You're looking at it, right?
Well, I'm not looking. If you're looking at me, I'm not looking. I would deny it. So I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see it. Yes, I did. You did see it.
Where's
'cause
the
you're
video
denying
guy?
it.
He might have a video of that.
Yeah.
Let's rewind that.
Yeah. My eyes popped right out of my head.
Yeah. No, I mean, the dress code thing. Yeah. If you're not, as long as you're not wearing a t-shirt that says, I like to fart or something, like your dad would, where farting is natural or something.
I'm retired.
I'm
That's my
retired.
pastime.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't tell me he's calm. Now it's Zachary.
All right. Geez, this is going to take forever. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Hello, you're on the air.
Oh shoot, I'm sorry.
Oh, shoot. You want me to call you back?
Yeah, I was gonna update. I was telling Dad about my app.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll call you right back as
We'll
soon as
call
we're
you
done.
back.
Okay? All right. Bye.
Yeah, this is going to be a long one.
Now everyone's going to think my kids call me every day. Oh, she's got such good kids. They call her every day.
Well, they call you today. That's all that matters. Okay, so then now that's the dress code thing, and then it goes to actions by guests, and some of the things they disapprove of course, and is number one is getting drunk.
Oh, yeah. I remember in our day, that was a big thing. A lot of them got drunk and they would puke everywhere. It's like, I didn't want any alcohol at my wedding just for that reason, because I don't want anyone throwing up all over my wedding. All over. I mean, that's what you remember at those weddings. Or someone slipping and falling, or,
Yeah, that's kind of funny though, in a way, depending on how bad the fall is. But yeah, getting
They
drunk's
broke their
number one.
arm.
Making a speech without the couple's prior approval. And the other one that's really, these are all like in the 70% range, is when someone proposes to their own partner during the wedding. Apparently a lot of people do not like to I guess it'd be like, I had the word, but it's gone now, where you're trying to
outdo them.
not outdo. It's not outdo. It's take some of the spotlight away.
Yeah.
Because it's really about
That couple.
that couple. It really, you shouldn't be
That's their
planning.
day. Yeah, it's their
planning to
day.
get married.
We had
it's-
fun at our wedding.
I'm not even sure that if you are the lady that's getting proposed to or whatever, that you would want that,
No, you might not.
because
like
it
the
doesn't
attention.
seem like spontaneous.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought this would be good to propose to me during another wedding?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like where I
that's-
can't really.
Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my thought. Is you're kind of upstaging.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
wedding.
but we've been to a few weddings where they, like both of the ones I think the couples had fun at that we went to last year. They
Yes.
seemed to have fun at their own wedding.
Yeah.
But we've been to some that were really dry and like, I can't believe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember our wedding was fun. And I think everyone that came thought it was fun.
Well, I think the other thing too with a wedding, it really makes or breaks, is the DJ or the band.
Yeah.
That makes a huge.
Yeah. If people
difference.
get out
If
and
they're
dance.
engaging and they're getting people up on the floor and stuff like that. And the DJ we had, and we're talking back in the 80s. Unfortunately, he actually passed away in a car accident, but he was really good.
Yeah.
He really was. He had people dancing. He just seemed to have a knack for when to play what and how,
And I know a lot of people like leave kids out of their wedding because they don't want the messes. I don't know what they don't want. The kids made ours fun. They were all out there dancing and boogieing, and we were dancing with them,
Yeah, it was. It was fun. It was a nice wedding. It was nice. We had it in what's it called? Across from Trinity. It wasn't a fire
The American
hall.
Legion.
American Legion. God, I can't.
American Legions and the fire halls were the things back when we got married.
I'm starting to think there's a problem. I'm telling you, there's a problem.
No.
There's a disconnect up here.
No, well.
I got a lot of things on my mind. You know?
Too many, yeah.
Too many things going on. Too many, and a lot of interruptions today. But that's okay.
We just, it was like now, like people have it. Like there were people in our day that had it at the ballroom in a hotel and stuff like that.
I'm not. I mean, that's not a. I don't care about.
But some of them are so formal that they're not fun.
You kind of feel like, what am I allowed to do?
Yeah.
Can I do my my break dance? Is that going to be a problem?
Yeah.
But I think most people today, especially with the costs,
they're
trying to find ways to cut the cost and. And do you want a $20,000 wedding? Really? Where you can take, even if you, let's say half of that, which is still a lot of money, but if you can keep it down under, everything's expensive. The catering, the whole 9 yards.
Everything's expensive.
But what would you rather have, I guess? Would you rather start out life with a house? Or do you want that $20,000, $30,000 wedding? And I guess it just depends on
60,000.
Well, I know.
Some of the ones Sarah's been in are more than that. They've been very, very up. Like she's even told a couple people since the one she's been in.
I think even
that if you want to keep me as a friend, maybe I shouldn't be in your wedding.
But they were also, that's not stable. But they were also, they had their careers. Wasn't like us.
Yeah.
Okay. We were both. I was only 20. You were 21, and we had jobs. But a lot of the people really start their career. They come out of college and they do
and
their thing
they're waiting
until
they're a little bit older to get
10
married.
years, and they wait and wait to have kids too.
Yeah.
And we've always said that, in fact, that was one of the subjects that came up. We were talking about how we had our kids young, and she said her mom had her kids young, and where she started a little bit later. She's in her 30s and she just had a baby. Well, that's just how things are today.
Yeah.
If you go to college and you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars,
in college,
I think you probably want to get your career going at some point.
Yeah, you need to start on those bills from college before you start a family.
I understand that because that's And
I actually went to a 2-year business school college, but... And you didn't go to college till after we were married. Right. You went to just broadcasting
technical school, basically.
But
so
yeah, and like Zachary says, for his students, the ones that are not into school, he would never recommend college. He's got a lot of money into school and not making the income to pay it back.
Yeah. All right, so when we come back, I want to talk about 5 things you can do in the morning to be happier all day. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to do this thing where there's some very bizarre rules, house rules that people have. And some of these are funny because one of them on here reminds me of what you used to say your grandmother did with you guys. Especially in this, now we'll talk about that. And so we're going to do some house rules. We've got the 5 things you can do in the morning to make you feel better. And I don't know, we'll come up with something because we've actually gone through a lot of the things I had written down to kind of discuss. So we'll come up with something.
Okay.
All right. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. Now, it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. So, Terry, if I could give you a list of things that might help you be happier in the morning, besides taking a cold shower, which, I don't know, you'd be alert, but I don't know how happy you'd be when you take a cold shower. So they were talking about there's 5 things that you might be able to do if you're stressed out. And, you know, times are stressful, especially this time of the year when your New Year's resolutions are already over. So you forget those. They only lasted a couple weeks. And they were just saying the 15th of January was actually called Blue Monday because they were talking about how your New Year's resolutions you just couldn't keep them. It's a Monday, it's blah. And it actually was a very cold Monday anyway. So stress is up. You know what I mean? The stress is up a little bit. Try not to be stressed because that brings on, to me, I've always thought that's how my dad got sick.
Yeah.
Is how stressed. And stress can do a lot of things
To you. Yeah,
to
it
you.
can.
So here's some things they say that that might help you, be a little bit happier during the morning. So number 1, pick a wellness habit and then link it to the AM ritual. Like, say you want to kind of sit on the floor, take some breaths, or even sit in a chair. Take
My
10,
exercising.
Yeah, take 10 deep breaths. Maybe do, like you said, a routine where it helps you kind of boost. Maybe there's something that,
I just stretch so that
some stretching.
I did it because I had to sit in a rolly chair and I didn't want my back to hurt. Now I do it because I get right into the car and off I go.
Some people might do yoga. Some people might, I don't know, whatever. Maybe you drink a hot tea or something, but it's that breath. It's that taking that deep breaths, taking kind of like, where you can kind of just, so that's number 1. Pick a habit.
A healthy habit.
Start it in the morning, a healthy habit. Number 2, and this is a biggie, and it's a tough one because a lot of people are addicted to this, is get your phone out of your room. And it's tough because the phone's dinging, the phones are ringing. You probably have alerts.
I use my phone first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I know. I know you read or you listen to or read, depending on the situation. Man, I am all tangled up here. Let's give them 15.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's another habit. Even if it's just
that's a healthy habit to me.
I think that could work.
So I have 2 healthy habits.
To an advantage too. Now they say get the phone out of the room. I understand that. But sometimes you can have a healthy habit from the phone, and that is a thing like Give 'em 15, where it's a spiritual thing, where you can read it. And he's telling some of the things too, can be a little depressing of what's going on. So he's
yeah,
telling
'cause
you
when
we're
they're
going to
telling
pray
you
about
this.
things that are going on in our
And
government.
sometimes it's governmental or
so
sometimes it's
That's going to be one of those things where you have to decide, is this
But
what I
you
want to
start with
listen
prayer
to?
then.
But if you don't want to do that, maybe there's a message or a verse that you can
the
take
Bible.
for the day.
We have a Bible app you can do too.
Something like that would kind of, kind of get you going in the morning.
There's
Something
all
you can
kinds of apps
meditate
for
on that. The other one is talk to yourself, it says, number 3. And it was talking about spending the morning psyching yourself out, or, sometimes you spend the morning psyching yourself out. And the idea here is to just talk to yourself about how things are going to go. We're going to have a good, maybe have a big presentation. Let's not get all, hyped up about it. We're going to be okay. We've got this. You got to, sometimes you got to
give yourself a pep talk.
You got to give yourself a pep talk. You really do. I mean, especially with if you do.
Okay, I'm going to make it to work today.
I'm going to get there. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to yell at any other drivers for cutting me off.
I'm not going to,
or flipping me off or whatever they do. And I'm just going to listen to maybe it's not even turn the radio on, or maybe do something different when you're in the car. Maybe it's listening to just instrumental music. Maybe something like that kind of soothes your, some opera. I don't know about opera. I don't know if I can do opera. I mean, it's nice, but it's me. I do maybe a little jazz, maybe just a little bit of calming music. Sometimes it's just good to have nothing on the car and just kind of breathe.
Yeah.
Because you got to do that.
Relax.
So you don't swear and cuss at the other drivers. That's number 3. Kind of talk to yourself. Kind of give yourself some pep talk. Number 4. And they also say talk to somebody else. Make social contact. Sometimes it can be a positive regard. Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's your child. Maybe someone does something for you in the morning. Maybe they get your coffee ready, or they make you a piece of toast. And it's just one of those things where it shows, they do care.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can pass that on, sometimes it's that passing on, right? You did something nice for them, and then they'll maybe pass it on and do something nice, by not giving the finger to the other driver. And number 5, incorporate gratitude. And I think this is, to me, I don't know if we do a lot of, the thank yous, hey, how you doing? And sometimes you might not get anything. Sometimes you do. But I think I just think it's a nice way of just kind of saying thank you, how you doing, making eye contact, having some gratitude, and maybe just saying to yourself, okay, what am I thankful for today?
Yeah.
That's
part of my gift 15 too.
Yeah, just being thankful. I mean,
being thankful.
We can all
everything.
We all have things in our life that are depressing. We all do. We all have it, and it's very easy to get depressed. But I think if you look at the positives as best you can of what's going on around you, try to keep the positive thoughts. I'm still here. I'm still alive. Feel pretty good. Got healthy children for the most part. Got, they're all happy. Grandchildren,
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Keep yourself as positive as possible in a world that, well, let's be honest,
it's not always positive.
It's not always positive.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you watch the news. And I'll try not to watch too much news. I'm throwing papers on the floor, Terry. That's how I'm keeping organized. Keeping it organized. Oh, I know. So here's one too. Before we get to our some bizarre house rules, this is something that's interesting. A lot of people are talking about getting away in the winter, having a winter getaway.
Yeah,
and they're talking about people that checking in when you're checked out. In other words, if you go on vacation, do you call your family and close friends to let them know you made it? Now, your parents had they would drive down to Florida, usually October, November.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'd never know because they would take a day or two to get down there.
Yeah,
and they just we would never know unless
I would have to call them.
Yeah, 1 in 4 claim that they always keep in touch with loved ones, but then 24% said that they rarely do, and they try to enjoy the time away. But, as a parent, okay, I'll just do that as a parent. If our kids are going somewhere, I still am a parent. I still think about.
We do every time I go to Pittsburgh and come back. We do let each other know we got there and we're.
Well, I get it, the text, because we're on a text that has all of us on there, and you'll say I'm here, so that I know.
Yeah.
That that you're there, because
and
you're telling them.
I didn't do that yesterday because they were already ready for me.
Well, I saw that, and you said okay.
Yeah.
But I kind of figured you said you were getting on 360.
Yeah.
Or 376.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew you were close anyway. But I didn't even get a chance to really talk to you that much because I was busy and you were busy. But a lot of people just do not contact anybody. And they also said that that they found that more than half require recovery time when they arrive at their destination, and then they spend 4 days in recovery mode after the trip ends. I don't know. I was trying to think. We come back from vacation. It's usually a day or 1 day, and I'm
back in
ready to go. But a lot of people say this because they travel internationally.
Oh.
Because then they have all these common problems. First of all, you have the issues with your luggage. Then you have the issues with maybe a canceled flight, or you missed the flight. They lost your luggage, or you don't speak the language of the country you're going to. And that can be an issue too. And then, so those are just some of the people that need that recovery time after
and
a vacation.
And then you have a time change and all that.
Time change is huge too. I'm sure your body takes this, depending on how long you are, wherever you're traveling. Yeah. Then it said here at the end, it had like this little thing that says, I know one thing, I don't call my mother-in-law when we're away. And then it says, I know what you're thinking, but it's because she always comes along. So that's why I don't have to call, because she's already here.
Okay.
All right. So that's just one thing. Do we check in, don't we? I thought we did.
I know we do with your family. My family, not so much.
No, not so much. All right. So let's do house rules. You ready? These are some very bizarre house rules that some people have found out while staying at friend's house. And we'll start with number one. And number one is this, I didn't say, this young lady, she was in 5th grade, and she spent the night with her best friend for the first time. Now, that best friend had 4 other siblings. It was kind of a blended family.
Mm-hmm.
And they were told to take a bath because they were going somewhere the next day. So they wanted everybody to be nice and clean. I got to take these off. Okay. So they're all taking a bath. Now, she says it was her turn, and she found out that they did have a rule that they reuse the bath water.
Ew.
So she says it's probably because save money or conserve water. So I used to bathe in cold water because that had been used once or more, and she didn't want to get in somebody else's dirty water. So she said, I left the water for the next kid. I didn't spend the night over there very much, she says. I definitely never bathed if I stayed again. And it says, it still bothers me today. She's like, I can still remember the scum of the bath water as I sat in it and felt dirty. Well, that's just disgusting. I understand having to want to save
Well, and
money.
that's how they did it in the olden days too. They heated up water in the bath, and the kids went first, and then they went through the family because they had to carry the water sometimes from the creek. Well, and boil it and then put it on,
Couldn't you just change out there? Just go to the creek? It's just as dirty.
Yeah,
Let's go in there. This is number 2. Some bizarre house rules. And in fact, this was in their own home. The internet had to be off at 8 o'clock. Okay,
I like that.
The father said, well, there is a reason, or they thought there was a reason. And it's because the dad said all the good websites shut off, and the only websites left after 8 p.m. were porn sites. And she said, my dad wasn't a very smart man, but he was a very definite. So he just thought that after 8 o'clock,
You
there was
weren't
nothing
gonna,
on but
you weren't
porn.
on. You weren't on anything but that was
Yeah,
good.
It's all going to be porn. Number 3. This is Terry. This is Terry's grandma right here. My great aunt or aunt wouldn't let kids inside during the day when we visited. It was mealtime, and she'd just hand the plates out the window, and some of her kids were just a little older
No,
than
we
us.
went in for meals, but my grandmother didn't like us going in and out and in and out. So she'd lock the door, and we have to run all the way to the park to go to the bathroom.
Doesn't that seem
We're
a little
playing wiffle ball in her backyard, and we
cruel,
had to
though?
go all the way to the park to.
to pee and poop?
Mhm.
Oh, boy. Well, this one just didn't even have meals. They
But
just
there was
shoved the meals
sometimes
like
9
prisoners.
of us out there. I mean, so someone was going in and out constantly.
Well, that was, I understand because I've had our share of kids going in and out of the house too. So I understand, but I never locked them out. Number 4, I had one friend who every weekend had to still wake up early, clean the house from top to bottom both days, even though it was clean the day before, and her mom was a stay-at-home mom and cleaned every day. The kicker is when I slept over, I learned the girls, guests included, had to clean out her brothers and father, had to clean, but her brothers and father got to sleep in and never cleaned. That's a little odd.
Yeah.
That's seems like there might be someone of a dictator in that house.
Yeah.
Just thinking. Number 5, not a house rule, but when I was really young, I didn't know any better and was desperate for an apartment. I wound up in a lease where we couldn't light incense or candles, not even if the power went out, not even birthday candles on the kids' birthdays. And they really meant it. Someone gave me a bathroom candle. Oh, shoot. As a gift. And I put it in the bathroom, even though I had no intentions of lighting it. Maintenance came in for something and saw it. Next thing I knew, I got a letter from the office saying it had been noticed and reminding me about the rule, suggesting I dispose of it. Once the power went out after hours on a weekend, you wouldn't believe how many people had contraband candles in their apartments. That seems odd to be in the lease,
Yeah.
the candles thing. Although you know how people are with candles.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes
They
forget
let
they're
them.
lit.
Yeah. And then they burn things down. Yeah.
This one said, my friend's parents had a rule that you had to say no or please. So when her brother was harassing me by pulling on my hair and I told him no, they stood there watching and told me that I had to say please at the end or else he was allowed to keep going. Mind you, this was her older brother. He was 12 and I was just a little kid. Looking back now, I realize how effed up that was. And that is effed
No,
up.
please. No, please. Every time he pulls her hair,
How about just tell that kid to stop pulling
pull
the
my
kid's
hair.
hair?
Yeah.
Well, this is the lack of parenting that goes on in the
Well,
world
and
today,
it's
too.
worse now. It's worse now, probably.
My mother visited a longtime friend and stayed at her apartment. The bathroom at night was off limits as it would disturb the cat. She was given a bucket instead. My mother never went back.
What?
Yeah, said that they
But the
would
bathroom would disturb the cat.
disturb the cat.
I'd say disturb the freaking cat.
You can't disturb Sprinkles
You
in
have
the
to
middle
poop
of the
in
night.
the bucket in the middle of the night.
Well, you know what I'd do? I'd leave the best friend a little present in the morning.
Of the bucket to empty.
Oh, yeah. No, not empty.
Well, that's what
Oh,
I mean.
I'd fill the
Too
bucket.
empty. Too empty.
Oh, yeah.
I would leave my poop and pee in the bucket for them to empty. If your cat means that much to you, you empty my poop and pee.
Yeah, really. I went over to a friend's house after school once, and when I got there, I asked to use the bathroom, and the mom handed me 2 squares of toilet tissue and directed me to the bathroom. There's no toilet paper in the bathroom, and you only got 2 squares.
What if you pooped?
Well, you better use those 2 squares
Wisely. Like, you know how you feel like you're finished and then you're not? You're
Yes.
screwed.
Yeah. Apparently, someone has a toilet tissue issue in that house.
Oh, I'd say.
Maybe they were rolling it up and throwing it in the toilet. I don't know.
Well, maybe they plugged up the throne.
Probably.
They probably did.
Or just wasting it. I don't know. But the 2 squares. Yeah, you got to be. And squares aren't very,
Be like,
very.
this is the last time I'm coming to your house.
Yeah. Number 9, I slept over at a friend's house when I was 14, and her mom confiscated our phones, which I needed to text my dad for safety, forced me to pray at every meal, and then tried to make me go to church with him in the morning. I eventually found my phone, texted my dad and said, hey, can you come pick me up? So she didn't want to be, well, I mean, it's, taking their phone and making them feel uncomfortable right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Maybe there should have been an idea of this is what we're doing. If you want to be a part of it, if not,
maybe don't
maybe
come.
don't, maybe stay for the day and then
go home
go
at
back
night.
home.
Yeah.
When I was a tween, all the neighborhood kids would hang out and eventually hit up a house for a snack. We usually tried to avoid the one girl's house because of her mom. All the kids would have to sit in the living room on plastic-covered furniture and eat quietly. The mom baked cakes as her side hustle. We couldn't make noise because that would stress the mom out while she was decorating the cakes. One day I sneezed and was quickly escorted out of the house. From that point on, the neighborhood kids could only sit on the back deck. All because he sneezed and she was decorating a very important cake. This house rule, it was, this person was 10 years old and went to a friend's house. We were in a room and I decided I wanted some gum. So I brought some with me and offered her a stick as well. She took it and we played. And as we were playing, we go downstairs later and her mom starts yelling at both of us for chewing gum. Apparently, that's not allowed in their house. No chewing gum. So there's a house rule. Maybe I should write these rules down before a person goes into the house. What do you think? I slept over at a friend's house when I was 9 or 10. Wasn't allowed to go outside of the bedroom till the parents woke up the next morning. I was a latchkey kid, so it was odd for me. I never slept there again. So you weren't allowed to get up until the parents were up in that house.
What if you had to pee in the middle of the night?
Well, first of all, you don't want to bother the cat. And apparently you don't want to bother the parents either. Foster care. Now, we've done foster care. This was a foster child. The one foster child mom had a rule that we weren't allowed to use toilet paper or tissue to wrap your pads up, only aluminum foil.
Aluminum foil?
She used aluminum foil. Boy, that's expensive.
Oh, God.
Best friend's house. The kids have to say I tooted or pooped instead of I farted, or they would get in huge trouble. What the heck makes the difference? I farted, I tooted.
I know a family, they weren't allowed to say they pooped.
I popped. It wasn't pooped, it was popped.
If they weren't allowed to say they were, I forget what word they used. They used something else instead of poop or whatever. I have to go. I forget what word they used, but they were not allowed to say they had to pee or poop. Those were not nice words, and they had to say something else. Yeah.
This next one is a little weird. This person went to a friend's house, and it was a very unique rule. It was a play date, and they actually had some tomato soup and crackers. I know how you like tomato soup and crackers. And they grabbed some crackers and they crushed them with my hand. So he crushed them with his hand over the soup. And that's when the mom said, "Oh, we don't do that around here. I would do it that way." And she proceeded to tell me that they put the crackers in the soup and then crushed them with the spoon. So, I mean, that's another way of doing it, but
who cares?
Does it really matter?
Well, that's the way I do it. Sorry.
My ex and I lived with his mother for a while. And after a couple of months, she talked to me privately saying, "I should have told you this when you first moved in, but we have delicate plumbing. And as a rule, I'd prefer it if from now on you don't flush your tampons down the toilet." Well, shouldn't be doing that anyway.
I never.
I had to tell her that I only used pads, which went in the bin. And I didn't know who was clogging their drains with tampons, but it wasn't me. But she was blaming her, but it wasn't her. So who was using the old tampons? They might have a mystery on that one.
Yeah.
From that house. This person was in middle school, went over to his best friend's house for a sleepover. He got in trouble for taking his shoes off
At the door?
when I entered the house. They had a strict shoes all the time rule.
Oh, well, yeah, but
So they
not
wore shoes
outside
all the
shoes.
time.
Yeah, but what if you stepped in dog poop and you're tracking it all through the house?
Yeah. They said their rule was, for me, it would be, can you please take off your shoes, especially in this weather
Yeah.
with the salt and the grind. And, if you don't mind taking them off but they had
All
a
the
strict
kids' dogs poop in our yard, and I don't want it coming through my house.
where they kept them on all the time, except when sleeping. That is weird. Huh. Let's see. One more. We'll do one more. In middle school, I stayed the night with my neighbor friend. The mom kind of reminded me of the grandma from Flowers in the Attic. She was very stern and severe. The house was filthy, and the girl's mom would brush her teeth for her at night. What? The girl's mom would brush her teeth for her at night. Oh, you mean
Like mom would brush our teeth.
she said it was because she got a cavity once and she wasn't allowed to brush her own teeth anymore. Oh man, that is weird. Can you imagine like brushing Zachary's teeth?
Yeah, no.
Because he
And the
wasn't-
thing about it is, if their house wasn't that clean, then how good of a brusher was she?
Yeah, well, that's true too. I slept over at a friend's house in middle school and her mom made me sleep on a towel because I had my period. It was very embarrassing. Everyone in the house knew because the towel was down no matter where she was at. That's sad. You had an experience about when you were
Oh,
Didn't-
I
you
never
didn't
knew
know?
when mine was coming.
Yeah, and it's-
I never knew when mine
yeah.
was coming. and
Unfortunately,
so-
everybody else knew before you knew.
Well, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, last one. I slept over at a friend's house when I was like 6 or 7. And the morning we went down to breakfast, his mom had made muffins. And the only way you could get a muffin is if you sang the Muffin Man song. I didn't know it, so I didn't eat. He didn't get to eat because he didn't know the Muffin Man song. Is that bizarre or what?
Why would you treat guests like that?
I don't know. This is how life is now. Do we have any weird rules?
I don't know. I think some of those things people would call and cuss you out for nowadays.
Yeah.
You didn't feed my kid because he wouldn't sing the Muffin Man song. You should be put to, I'm turning you into CYS. They would tell you that.
In the loony bin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's it.
I trusted you to feed my kid.
Yeah. Hopefully you had some fun today, and we appreciate you listening. Don't forget to subscribe every Monday. We have a new episode coming out, and we also throw out these little snippets of the show. So please share those with your friends. We throw them on Facebook and Twitter, or X now. And you can follow us on Facebook or X at it's at my radio station, at Just Talking Out Loud. And you can also leave a comment in Spotify. Also, I think Apple's doing it, and we're hopefully going to have SpeakPipe up and running, and I'll explain how that all works. I hope the next time we're on the air. That'll do it for us. We're out.
Have a great week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.